People ask me all the time, what jobs are actually available in Svalbard? I lived there for 14 years and I still run a job group with 46,000 people looking for work in Northern Norway, including Svalbard. So let me tell you the truth about living and working up here. Today we're going to cover three things: the treaty, the freedom and the trap, the housing reality, the loop that keeps people out basically, the job landscape, what's actually available, and what nobody tells you. I'm Ben, Polar Chef. Welcome to the Arctic Coffee Break. This is a conversation, not a lecture. So if you got questions, drop them in the chat. I'll get to them as we go. And if you're curious about building a life up here, I've got a free community called The Square. The link is in the pinned comment. Now let's go. The treaty. There was a treaty that was signed, the Svalbard Treaty in 1920, and basically citizens of the signatory countries can live and work without a visa. It's basically the only place on earth you can move to with just a passport. So you don't need a visa, you don't need to consider many things, but it's both freedom and a trap because everybody wants to go there because it's so easy, and it's very difficult because everybody wants to go there. And time in Svalbard doesn't count towards mainland Norway residency, except there's a little loophole that if you stay on Svalbard for more than 8 years, then you can carry the time forward and apply it to your time in Norway, like I've done. So I was on Svalbard for over 14 years, which is so long. So I'm able to use that time when I'm ready to apply for a citizen in Norway. And it's basically a dead end for immigration because like you can only stay on Svalbard for as long as you're healthy and you're able to work and take care of yourself. There's no social security, there's no safety net. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I left Svalbard, was because when this COVID situation happened, the economy shut down, there weren't any jobs. And then as a foreigner, we didn't qualify for the social security. So welcome everyone. I'm talking about Svalbard, and hello, Lorenzo. I'm talking about Svalbard and getting jobs on Svalbard because everybody wants to go to Svalbard, and it's good because you don't need a visa. It's a visa-free zone. It's like one of the only places in the world where you can just have a passport, you go and you work. But this is what also makes it very complicated because so many people want to go, and it's very small. It's only like 2,000 people. There's not many things there. I mean, it's mainly like some hotels, some restaurants. Like if you're an electrician, mostly like skilled hand, like electricians, plumbers, things like that. Oh, thank you so much, Lorenzo. Yeah, I appreciate that. Share it and help others find out about it. Visit my website, polarchefben.com. Everything is there. I have my job group, Northern Norway Job Opportunities. If you're looking for jobs on Svalbard, join the Facebook group. We have tours there. We have everything there. So like I was saying about Svalbard, it's basically a dead end for immigration. And this is by design because you can only stay there for as long as you can work. And it's not possible to retire there. When you get too old, you have to leave. So nobody retires there. No one's usually born there because like there's a very small basic hospital. So usually, oh, thank you so much, Lorenzo. I appreciate it. I love you too. Normally, if a baby's born, then you have to go to Tromsø. So they fly the mother down like maybe a week or two before, or maybe 3. I can't exactly remember. But then the mother flies to Tromsø. Usually she has the baby there, and then they can go back to Svalbard. It's very rare to have babies on Svalbard because they have to have special doctors, and it's more like it's just a very basic hospital there. So it's not recommended to have babies there. And I have a question for you, chat. Did you know about the Svalbard Treaty? Do you know what it is? Just give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And so that's the freedom and the trap. But here's the thing, the real barrier isn't the treaty. It's what happens when you actually try to stay. And the housing loop, you can't buy land or build a house there. It's very complicated. It's very difficult to get permission. You can try even like these cabins they have. They don't want to build any more cabins. It's like the houses they have are the houses they have. And of course, big companies can build like apartment units, but it's really difficult to own any property there. Usually only the companies own it. Oh, fantastic. Then just listen. I have some more for you. It's coming now. Just grab your coffee, grab your tea. I have tea today. I'm not drinking coffee today. I have some tea. Let's get into it. And they only give you, like almost every apartment is owned by a company. So they only give it to you if you work for them. So like if I have a company on Svalbard, I have so many houses for the staff that I need. I'm giving those houses to my staff. So why would I give it to you if you don't work for me, right? Like I need it for my people. And there's like always a shortage because of course, Airbnb, like everybody wants to rent out houses and you get more money from Airbnb, which makes sense. So why wouldn't you want to rent it out? But the problem is it creates challenges for people, for workers. Even in Lofoten, we have the same problem. Everybody wants to rent out on Airbnb. So in the summer, it's really difficult for staff to find houses. Oh, welcome everyone. If you're just joining, I'm talking about finding work on Svalbard and the challenges with that. And we're now talking about the housing loop. So of course, like I said, Svalbard, anybody can go. If you have a passport, you can go, it's no problem. But the challenge is going to be to find housing and to find work. And almost every house is apartment is owned by a company, and they only give it to you if you work for them. And basically, if you don't have any job, then you don't have any house. And if you don't have any house, it's going to be super complicated to stay. So it's like a circular system. It could be intentional, who knows? But I mean, Svalbard, they need people. Six. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome, Lorenzo. So then we have circular system, and the governor can reject anyone without sufficient means. So if you don't have the means to take care of yourself, then they can kick you out. So you can go there. Yeah, of course. But if you can't take care of yourself, then they can send you home. And now my question to you, Chad, is if you ever ran into a loop like this, let me know in the chat, like this circular loop where it's just like a catch-22 where it's impossible to do anything. Drop it in the chat. So that's the loop. The soup bowl danced with the lead soup because yeah, all right. Turned into a philosopher. Thanks for sharing that, Ubelblat. Yeah, you're right. So that's the loop. And it's designed that way, but here's what actually get asked most after people hear about the treaty and the housing. They always ask the same thing: the job landscape. Okay, so then what kind of jobs can you do if you go to Svalbard? What kind of jobs do you think? Let me know in the chat. You have research at the university there, UNIS. This Norwegian Polar Institute also does research. There's climate research. You have stations. There's biology, geology. You also have tourism jobs like guides, hotel staff, activity operators, logistics. There's a massive growth infrastructure in waste, water, power, and construction. So that all needs to be maintained. And of course, you have healthcare jobs. Hospital. There's a small hospital in Longyearbyen, so they have a few doctors, a few nurses, and some dentists. There's also the education, but it's like the kindergartens, the primary and high school. So this means teachers, admin, and then you also have retail and food. So there's like only one supermarket there. There's some restaurants and some cafes, and it's more food culture now. So that's pretty much all of those. But if you want to get into like the hospital jobs, you have to have been educated in Norway. And if you've been educated outside of Norway, then you have to take like some equivalencies to make sure your credits match to a Norwegian degree. Welcome everyone. If you're just joining, we're talking about getting jobs on Svalbard here. And I'm just now talking about the different types of jobs. And you also have some hidden jobs like mechanics, electricians, IT people, accountants, HR, and security. So my question now for you, Chad, is what job would you bring to Svalbard? Drop it in the chat. If you're planning to go to Svalbard, what job do you think to do there? So that's the landscape. And I've seen people come up for a season and leave, and I've seen people come up for a season and stay for 20 years. The difference isn't the job, it's the mindset. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Svalbard isn't for everybody, but if you're the kind of person who can handle the dark, the cold, and the uncertainty, it's one of the most rewarding places on Earth. And the truth is, the same mindset that works in Svalbard works anywhere. Adaptability, curiosity, a willingness to build something new. That's what I've carried with me from Svalbard to Lofoten. And that's what I'm building here, a life, a community, a table where people can gather. So whether you're thinking about moving north or just thinking about a different way to live, the question is the same. What are you willing to build? Thanks for being here. This is the Arctic Coffee Break. If this sparks something for you, there are a few ways to go deeper. First, you can join my square. It's a free community at polarchefben.com. It's where people ask questions, share ideas, find their path. You can come back on Wednesday, the same place. I'm going to be here at 6 a.m. on Wednesday, and we'll talk about the next piece of the polar life. And if you're really serious, you can explore the tours. Lofoten food journeys are the way to experience the Arctic life firsthand. Link is in the description. I'm Ben, Polar Chef, and I'm going to see you next time. See you later, guys.